Okay, so I'm out here pretending like I'm some know it all when it comes to the forces of evil. I've told y'all all about these fallen angels. I've told y'all about these outer beings. I've told y'all about Ayin, the architect of hell. But there's something I've been missing. I told y'all about the traitors against Zeus. Okay, there's something that's been missing. There is a brand of evil, a completely different other brand of evil that I have not exposed to y'all. I feel like with this knowledge that I've given you about these about evil, you'll be in a position to where you can overstand it, to where maybe you can even manipulate it to work for you instead of against you. So great is the understanding that has been unleashed on this channel. Okay. But that being said, I haven't the full picture of evil, the full. I feel like I really let y'all down. Okay, so let's get to it. So what is this type of evil? Okay, well before we get there, we've discussed the evil of the outer beings. And they are watery. They are very aquatic in nature. In the Bible, they're depicted as the dragon that comes out of the sea. So, yes, they're sea-based. Cthulhu, all them. I mean, all life on the land did come from the sea, so they obviously have their presence on land too. But it's really mostly a sea thing when you're dealing with the outer beings. Okay, so with that you have like all the East Pacific Islands are populated by avatars, or not East Pacific, the Pacific Islands. In Asia in general, it's all populated by outer beings. That's the main, the main situation you're going to be dealing with. In Asia, you're going to be dealing. Every country is going to have a different outer being that populates it for the most part. Except for Japan, which is populated by the fallen angel Leviathan, the demon of envy Leviathan. So anyways, let me get to the point right now. There's not only an element of evil that I've been missing out on, there's also a geographical, I don't, that's not the right word. There's an environment, there's I don't know how, the jungle, okay? The jungle is not that evil there is not connected to the outer beings. There is evil in the jungle. It has its own brand of evil. Have y'all ever seen the movie Congo? Even H.P. Lovecraft has a story about this brand of evil. It has nothing to do with Cthulhu. It's not a Cthulhu mythos story, even though Lovecraft wrote it. Not all his stories were just strictly about um, the the outer beings. For instance, horror at Red Hook, he talks about Lilith and what's going on there. Seems to be a fallen angel thing, so that would lead me to believe that the cities, the evil in the cities, is uh, maybe from the fallen angels, but the lurker, what is it? No, the lurking fear. Yes, that one about the family that I guess ends up interbreeding with each other and devolving into these ape-like beings. Um, but okay, but this evil is of the jungle is ran by the third beast, the one that the whore of Babylon rides on. The first beast, the first seven-headed beast, is the fallen angels. The second beast, of course, or excuse me, the dragon from the sea, the second, uh, you know, quote unquote beast, I guess, in Revelations, the second one of the three. Yeah, that's the outer beings. And this third beast. Okay, so the first one is they're supermodels. All the fallen angels, they're supermodels. Um, the second one, they're cam whores. Yeah, laugh it up, whatever. And the third one is porno stars. Okay? Now, like I said, the jungle. What are these bitches that do porn? What does that remind you of? When it's some incredibly dumb hookup sequence. How she slipped and fell on his dick or whatever. Um, oops. Or sometimes a guy will just walk in. There will be no talking or anything. He'll just walk in and erect or not and naked, and that's just it. That was how they hooked up. This is the jungle. Okay, that's some jungle sex that you see these porn stars doing. They're jungle minded. A lot of what you see, a lot of the evil that's going on, I've just missed it. A lot of the evil that's going on is trying to bring us back to the jungle. The laws of the jungle. Might is right. Now, which beings are we talking about here? Well, I've already discussed or exposed three of the heads, I believe, on this beast. And so the main head, the first head, is going to be Leviathan. Leviathan is in the Bible, not the fallen angel Leviathan. Okay, they like to confuse us. But because that's a demon of envy, that's a fallen angel of envy. But this Leviathan is just some creature. I don't think it ever fell from heaven. It's just some savage beast. And so, yes, it's Leviathan, it's Lisa Ann, it's Predator. And what's very important is to understand Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, because in Dungeons and Dragons, over there it's Orcus. Okay, you also have King Kong, I believe her name is Tory Lane, or no, Tory Black. And Demogorgon. Okay, but it's Behemoth. That's its technical name, but it's also King Kong, and so et cetera, et cetera. Leviathan is also crocodiles, and was the biggest, an even bigger predator than Tyrannosaurus Rex, known as Spinosaurus. It's the biggest predator. But yeah. And T-Rex is Behemoth, is Demogorgon. So do you see the jungle-like savagery that we're starting to allude to here? You're starting to get a picture of this different type of evil, okay? Now, anytime you come across cannibals or super savage tribes, it probably has to do with them. Zombies, that type of magic, that I believe has to do with them. It's not from Cthulhu. No. If you're walking, listen, the jungle has poisonous snakes that you don't even have to step on them. They'll just jump out and bite you. Swarms of insects, jungle cats. This is a different type of energy than the wateriness of the outer beings. This is a savage brutality. Okay? Led by these cryptids, these jungle creatures, these creatures of the wilderness, these dark spirits of nature. A whole different type of evil. You ever heard of Amazonians? Yeah, that's not a Cthulhu thing. Okay? So you're gonna have but also okay, so hold on. So I'm sorry. So there's a division between these creatures and the fallen angels over in the world of D&D. In fact, they have a never-ending war. You see, these creatures populate the abyss. So maybe I believe it's possible that they're in the outer realms. They've been forced to the outer realms. I don't know where they came from. Maybe they're, angels. Maybe Ayin created them. Angels that have just gone crazy. Maybe who knows who created. Yeah, I'm saying maybe Ayin created them. Maybe Azathoth created them. Maybe they're just. I don't know. Maybe they're just intrinsic forces of nature that just have to be. Like when the Bible talks about Leviathan and Behemoth, God is explaining to Job about them. And I think there's something, where God he's like, hey, it just had to be. They just had to exist. I don't know. But they make up an entire beast of apocalypse that this whore is riding on. And they end up turning on the whore and killing her. So I guess she's not as evil as them. It's not like she's the one who chops all their damn heads off.